Welcome back again, YouTubers, to another live stream with one half, the only half, the final half, the whole, in other words, of the British Fist, me, NJ. I know this is another unprepared live stream, and it may not be on the best day to do a live stream, but I had a few plans tonight that was going to take up the night itself, but they fell through. And I thought, I could watch a movie or two. I could go out and see a few work colleagues, but I thought, no, you're trying to not do so much things related to work. I could start another box set, but I thought, you know what? I could just come live on YouTube and see what's going on and what things are still floating in my head about the WWF, the WWE, TNA, upcoming events, and just get them out in a discussion, out in a live stream. Probably talk to whoever's around on a Friday night. But let's have some fun here, yeah? Because there may be some rants, there may be some comedy, there may be some discussions. There could be anything going on right now. And maybe, depending on how all these go, I might make them a regular thing. Just whack on the webcam, turn on the live streaming, and see what comes out, what gets said, what gets spoken about at random times. I would like to have some fun with this. So tonight's live stream is going to be about just general wrestling topics. And even though I've said before in past videos, especially when Mr. Park in the other half of the British Fist decided to part ways from the channel, to disconnect himself from YouTube, I am starting, or have been for quite some time, feeling the impact of the downfalls of the world of wrestling, and it's making me feel a bit disconnected. But let me emphasize this but, because I like big buts. I do still see the good in the sports entertainment. I still have the good things to say, so I'm not ruling out everything in general or everything as a whole. I will be still here, still around, still wanting to be a part of the YWC, the community itself on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. So let's just talk about random things in the world of wrestling, shall we? Let's talk about the fact that people are saying that SmackDown have been putting on better shows than Raw. Let's talk about how Raw has the better roster than SmackDown. Let's talk about how Matt Hardy continues to make me laugh at the direction he's going in. Let's talk about how TNA has the door wide open to grab so many different talents to increase their roster. Let's talk about how Lucha Underground has had some entertaining matches. Let's talk about how all this news about McGregor, attacking the WWE. Let's talk about how Brock Lesnar's part-time contract is not the best thing in wrestling, and how the WWE want us to be excited that he's facing Randy Orton. There's just so many different topics we could talk about. So let me bring up the chat and see what discussions or what things people are saying. So, no, I don't want to hear my own voice. Not right now. So pop out chat. Beautiful. I've got that here now. So while I'm waiting for the comments, I'm just going to talk about some random topics while I wait for you guys to chime in. So Yes, I've done some brief prediction. Well, not brief, almost 2 hours worth of predictions. SummerSlam is coming up. NXT Brooklyn. We can't forget that because as much as I love the change from NXT from season one, obstacle courses. Whose bright idea was it to have obstacle courses to show the skill of in-ring ability? I know it just weren't about the obstacle courses, but I did find that to be kind of weird and kind of off-putting from that season. So I'm glad that the unwelcoming of that changed to the Nexus. Then season two came around, and season three, and each year something new would happen, something would get changed to what it is today. NXT is its own promotion in a way, its own roster, its own brand, its own name, its own crowd base, its own fan base, sorry. And it's putting on really good shows. You could say that the NXT takeovers have been outdoing most of the WWE events. And I think that is because on TV, they only have that short amount of time to bring out as much story and enjoyment as they can. And with the roster, the talent that they're bringing in, they're able to work off them, find what they're good at, build them up as names before they get drafted to the main roster. And sometimes I think to myself, is drafting the wrestlers to the main roster really beneficial? Yes, the pay may be better. Yes, the spotlight is going to be better. Yes, the wider range of what WWE, the main roster, can offer the wrestlers, superstars, may be bigger. But there has been times when they came onto the main roster, they've been hot to begin with, but then gradually lost their way, not been so important. And they keep having these little splashes of moments. So in NXT, yes, they may not be there for every show, but I feel that the booking may be a bit more based on the roster they've got, individual wrestlers they've got, which is good for them. It makes them stand out. It makes them have their moments, their names, their build. And I just want the WWE, the main roster, to look at these guys coming in and have a plan for them. There's no point rushing them to the main roster because of their name. Oh, look, there's Bobby Roode in NXT. Let's get him straight to the main roster because I think Bobby Roode deserves to be on Raw or SmackDown. The name power should not be a reason to move him or move them to the main roster, because you get them on the main roster, you have them cut a few promos, maybe have a few matches, but unless you've got longer term booking for them, it's not going to make much sense. It's not going to have a good stretch of awesomeness to be on the main roster. So I feel that you should keep the wrestlers on NXT for as long as possible until you've got a genuine story or reason to bring them to the main roster. The brand split. I don't think the brand split is a good enough reason to bring them up, to fill the blanks, to help a show out. Oh, look, Raw has all the top names. SmackDown has the growing talent, the newer talent. Let's grab some more from NXT to help us have more numbers, have more availability of doing stuff on our show. Because unless you've got longer, strong-term booking for these wrestlers, to make them have a purpose to come up to your main roster, to have a way of building them up so they become bigger deals than they are. I'm hoping that the likes of Austin Aries, Bobby Roode, Samoa Joe are not going to be dragged up to the main roster and not really develop in the way that we all hope for. We all want to see them come to the main roster. Of course we do, because we may watch NXT, but it's Raw and SmackDown where we're tuning in the most in some way, because that's what we've been watching. That's where the bigger things are meant to come and happen. So I just want to see better booking or better reasoning to have these wrestlers come to the main roster. And that brings me on to who's going to come up first. Out of your main wrestlers on your show, who is going to debut first? Is it going to be Samoa Joe? Is it going to be Austin Aries? Is it going to be Samoa Joe, Bobby Roode, Austin Aries? I'm still thinking it's going to be... You think Samoa Joe, because he's been there the longest. But I still think Samoa Joe is a dominant force that is doing good for NXT. But with the likes of Mark Henry, Big Show, Kane taking a part-time contract or retiring, Samoa Joe could easily come up and take their place. Bobby Roode, there's still the comparison that he is another version of a Triple H. He's still a guy who could mold himself around the later Triple H character, not the early stages, not when he was the blue blood and all that stuff. Triple H himself, he can come in, cut promos saying that he's the best, and gradually want to grab the main championship. Maybe in a year or two's time, he could start to create himself a little group to boost him up, to make him stand out more. Austin Aries, a smaller guy, may go down the typical underdog route, which I don't really like that in a wrestling company. The underdog, the guy who has to make people feel sorry for him or has to beat the bigger guys because it's the best way to make him look like he means business. I just want him to come into the company, cut promos saying that he's the best, and put on great matches. I'm not going to say who I think they should start their feuds with, because I think that's going too much depth for this topic that I want to talk about. I could speak briefly about the women in WWE. I'm looking at Nia Jax. I like her. I do like the alpha females, the dominant females. I do like that, which is what drew me a lot to China, Beth Phoenix, and Awesome Kong, Karma. But with this Nia Jax going through jobbers, I have complimented before the whole jobber aspect, the local talent aspect, and to have wrestlers mold themselves, build themselves through them. But I'm also thinking, hopefully the WWE have a goal in mind, maybe they're waiting for Sasha to retain a championship, and then on Raw you're going to have Nia Jax confront Sasha, which is all good and all because a big dominant women wrestler confronting a smaller built wrestler and the champion, it makes sense. It looks good for Nia Jax, but Nia Jax going through local wrestlers, going through jobbers, going through women wrestlers that we're probably not going to see ever again. And then all of a sudden she goes from them to Sasha Banks. She goes from local wrestlers, jobbers to Sasha Banks. That yes, we'll still think that Nia Jax can beat Sasha or put on a good match against Sasha because of her size, build, and in-ring ability. But building up wise, it's not really the best thing possible. Miniature female wrestlers to Sasha Banks. I can see it happening because we need to think, what heels are there left to challenge Sasha? What heels are there? Nia Jax is floating around. She's got to end this local talent, jobber, female wrestler trend at some point. She's got to end it. Do I want to see Nia Jax, Sasha Banks? I wouldn't mind seeing it, but it's just I don't think the jump from squashing local female wrestlers going to Sasha Banks is really a statement. If she went through like Alicia Fox, I can't say the Bellas because they're not here. I'm trying to think of female wrestlers for Nia Jax to step up to. Maybe Naomi, because I don't think Naomi's on a push right now. So maybe Alicia Fox, Naomi, before going after Sasha. So she's had the smaller wrestlers to on roster wrestlers to the champion. I'm hoping there's a build up, not just a jump straight to Sasha after SummerSlam. But this brings me to the topic where I miss Beth Phoenix. I don't see any hints of her coming back. I follow her on Twitter and Instagram. I do. And there's been no hints of her coming back. No training to possibly come back. She's happy doing what she is, it seems like. But Beth Phoenix coming in, proving that she's still the Glamazon, to prove that she's still a dominant diva, female wrestler, and going against Nia Jax. Fans pretty much, hopefully, will remember who Beth Phoenix is for her to come in and challenge Sasha Banks. I would like to see it. I'd like to see Beth Phoenix back. I like to have the name Beth Phoenix back in the WWE. Karma, I think after her departure last time, maybe her return is not going to happen, or it's going to be delayed much longer down the line. There's alpha female wrestler, her. I don't know, but I would like to see more of a challenge for Nia Jax before she goes against Sasha. Now I'm going to bring up the chat because I've just noticed some people are starting to step in now, which is awesome. Pop up chat. Full screen. You looking forward to SummerSlam? I'm going to build up to SummerSlam because I'm not expecting this to be the hottest stream I've had, but I would like to build up the numbers a little bit before I talk about SummerSlam again. So I'm going to talk about random topics before I get back to SummerSlam. Who do you think is going to replace Eva Marie in the six? It seems like you came here to talk about SummerSlam. A replacement for Eva Marie. She's going to be on the heel side, so maybe Nia Jax is going to do it. Maybe, or is Nia Jax smacked? No, it's a SmackDown match, isn't it? The sixth female is a SmackDown match, so maybe it's not going to be Nia. I don't know. I just do not know. But before we get to SummerSlam, I want to avoid that for a little bit because I want to see if I can build up the numbers a little bit more. Just a little bit, people. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit. Just to help out this live stream to get random topics. So I'm just having a quick little look on Twitter. Um, Charlotte, once she's either defeated or lost to Sasha, what is Charlotte going to do? Well, I think she's built up as one of the top female wrestlers in the WWE today. So I don't think she's going to be going anywhere, really. I'm not sure what top end feud she's going to get, because who up there is a top female wrestler for the WWE. You've got Sasha, Charlotte, Becky's climbing that ladder. Natalia's had a spot against Charlotte. Maybe there's going to be a Dana Brooke feud because they're already teasing a possible breakup or possible disrespect storyline going on. So maybe Dana Brooke will turn face, and that'll be who Charlotte faces. Sasha. Okay, Sasha. There's been reports that the WWE want to turn Sasha heel so she can face a returning, debuting Bayley. And I can understand the logic because Bayley is, you know, overly happy and she's pretty much slapping the face. So I can see why, but Sasha, on the other hand, every time she's out there, ringside, in the ring, cutting a promo, she's getting a face reaction. Sasha. So to turn her heel just so she can face Bayley, I don't really like it. I know it's a match the WWE want to do, and it is a big match. But I don't really agree with turning one of your top faces heel just so this match can happen. There were a few people on Twitter defending it, thinking, oh, it's going to be a good match. It should happen. It needs to happen for this match to happen. No, I don't want to agree with them because Sasha and Bayley are your top faces. Charlotte and Natalia are your top heels. Nia Jax is trying to get up there, but she's not the top heel yet. So Charlotte to face Dana Brooke. Sasha, maybe she's gonna face Bailey. I just don't. Natalia's not really faced heel Sasha, so maybe it'll be Natalia versus Sasha Banks. And I know fans, some fans, most fans maybe, were tired of seeing Natalia chasing the championship, but it's still a feud we've not seen, and a feud that could last sometime after SummerSlam, going towards the Rumble area. Just a filler feud before you do the Bailey idea. Just a temporary idea there. Naomi, don't really want to talk about her, even though it's good that she's making somewhat of another run in the WWE, or another run as a female wrestler. Alexa Bliss, I don't think she's properly a name on the roster yet. She's there, but she's not really stood out among the others to be taken too credibly yet. Going back to the chat before I get distracted by talking about female wrestlers. You got any plans for tomorrow? I might go uptown to get more parts of my Riddler costume. I'll check that in a minute. Because I do cosplay now, I go to conventions all over the UK dressed as the Riddler. The Riddler. The Riddler. So I might go town to grab some extra components to keep portraying that. Then we're going towards NXT. I should be watching that. So I might be gathering something for that pay-per-view, that event, for me to enjoy a bit more. And then I've got to sort out things related to work. How about you? What are your plans for tomorrow? Now, let me just check what this message was. Bear with me. It's an audio message. Who would you like to see come back to the WWE? This was kind of asked in my last live stream, but there's a little group, there's a little handful. There's Carlito, because if the Shining Stars are going to be taken, if the Shining Stars are going to be taken seriously at any point in their career or this next run they've got, I think Carlito's going to need to give them the oomph, the push. I think Carlito needs to step in and show them how things are done, bring them up to a credible status in the WWE. So Carlito. Shelton Benjamin, I want to see him have another run. So get well soon, recover well, and hope to see him somewhere in the near future. John Morrison, because I think with the creative team trying more with some of their wrestlers, like Reigns to some aspect recently. Kevin Owens is awesome on the mic. Bray Wyatt, when he cuts a promo, he's awesome. So I think if they put more work and effort into John Morrison, his mic work could improve and he'll be fine again. Ballin' MVP. I don't want him to come into the WWE as a management role, a GM. But I think because of the direction he was going in before he left, I think giving him another chance to shine, maybe have him in the mid card, boost the mid card a bit on SmackDown. You look so good to me. Billy and Chuck. Oh dear, Billy and Chuck. That was something, wasn't it? That was something. Da, 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 da. Big Dick Johnson. Big Dick Johnson was something. No. Serious now. Serious. Gilbert. No. Serious now. No, serious now, please. Can I have some seriousness now, please? The Long Conquistadors. No, please. Stop now. Stop. Serious now. Just serious names, please. The mini wrestlers, the short wrestlers, like the mini Booker T, mini Kane. No. Serious now. This is the last time I'm going to say this. Serious now. No more jokes. Proper names, please. Proper wrestlers to come back. If the Hardys were to come back, I would not have them as Jeff on his own, Matt on his own. There you go. I'd have to have the Hardys together because the tag team division, in some aspect, needs the oomph to go with the Dudleys and stuff. Proper big names to put talent over. So I could say the Hardy Boys. Brock Lesnar on a better contract, even though he's already back in the aspect of wrestling at SummerSlam. I bet I'm missing the most obvious name. There's like, say it. Ay. I'm not quite sure right now. I've named a few little mid-carders. Maybe Spike Dudley, just so we can have the nostalgic of the Dudley boys, Spike, Bubba Ray and Devon. But after the way Devon's been acting, accidental clotheslines and stuff, maybe there's not going to be the Dudley boys for much longer. So maybe not. But Goldberg. No. No. Before I say more about Goldberg, I would like to see, probably as a general man. No, rewind. As a manager to someone, I would love to see Eric Bischoff. I know he went out in a kind of way. No, that was a TNA joke. A kind of way. I know he was thrown out in the garbage, thrown out in the garbage, throwing out the trash. But Bischoff as a manager, give it to me. Your next top heel, Eric Bischoff to be his manager. Your next top heel. If you want, Kevin Owens is okay on his own, so I wouldn't really put Eric Bischoff with Owens. I wouldn't. Seth Rollins, I'm waiting for him to turn face, so I wouldn't really put Bischoff with Owens. With Rollins. the Ambrose turning on Reigns didn't really turn Ambrose heel. Who would Bischoff manage? Who would Eric Bischoff manage? That is a tough question. That is a tough question. Anyway, Goldberg. I'd say give him a year contract, because Goldberg, I think when he was in, he didn't really like putting people over. He wanted to be the man. He wanted to be the Goldberg. He wanted to be the main event. I don't think he was much of a putting over people kind of type. So I say give him a year just so he can have a run. But I don't know if I'd have him back as a full-time wrestler. Who would you like to see next on? Thing is, Legends with JBL. I like JBL. I find him funny on commentary sometimes when he's having that little banter with Saxton, when he's saying "Shut up, Baron," and he's throwing little jokes. What did you just say? He throws little jokes at him. It makes me laugh sometimes. But I was more of a fan of Stone Cold's podcast. I liked the Heyman Hustle. But JBL, taking nothing away from him, he's not really my go-to spokesperson, talk show, podcast, radio. No. Bear with me, please. Okay. Wrong thing. Can you do a live stream like this while watching the pay-per-view? Thing is, I would do, but because my concentration on some WWE events is not on a high, it's not always there. I'm sometimes distracted by other things. I'm not always watching everything that goes on some pay-per-views or wrestling shows. I'm going to be here. I've just got to listen to this little voicemail that I got. So continue ask me things in the chat and I'll be right back. I'm just muting my mic. And back. Okay. So I've gone through the chat now up to date. So I'm now going to bring up other random topics that's in my head and see where they go and see what people say. I've said this before. I said this earlier. The flipping broken Matt Hardy thing. I know it's going to come to an end at some point. I know this broken Matt Hardy is not a forever thing. He's going to wake up at some point. Maybe Jeff Hardy's going to slap some sense into him and we get Return of the Hardy Boys. Or maybe Matt's next opponent comes in and slaps some sense into him. But more than likely, I think we're going to get Return of the Hardys. But Broken Matt Hardy, he makes me laugh, and I'm not sure if that's his intention to make fans laugh at him. I think he's just trying to play into a character, but I can't help but laugh at him. So I've heard different things about the Hardy Boys. I've heard that Matt is happy in TNA. Jeff wouldn't mind coming back to the WWE. I've heard that both Matt and Jeff are wanting to stay in TNA because there's future plans for them. I don't know, but I would like to see the Hardy Boys as a tag team back in WWE, because the last return of a tag team, the Dudley Boys, didn't quite work out, did it? The return of the Dudley Boys has been a bit of a letdown. It's not been the best thing. I've looked at the Dudley Boys and thought the WWE really messed up their return. The Dudley Boys have not really felt like the Dudley Boys. They've not really made the best impact. They've not brought the best feeling. So I'm kind of sad for the Dudley Boys. They're still in okay spirits. They're still doing their job, coming to work each show and doing their part. But they've not really had the best comeback, which is why I would like to see another tag team come in and do a better job at coming back and putting people over, possibly becoming champion, because the Dudley Boys have been a bit of a letdown. Other tag teams to come back: Hardy Boys. I'm not sure what is Lance Storm's condition like. Would Lance Storm come back? I don't know, but I would like to see some tag teams come in, because even though we saw the SmackDown tag team division being quite strong, quite good, I still don't think there's much happening on Raw. What do you think of WCPW? Apart from the camera work, I think the camera work needs a bit tweaking, because they cut too early. They're not in the right position sometimes. The mic work could do with improving. They're doing their best with promos. They're doing their best. But I love the fact that they're able to bring in big names. They're able to bring in the Kurt Angle, possibly Wade Barrett. They've brought in Jay Lethal. They have my mind's gone blank. Wake up. Damien Sandow for a little period. So they've got the power to bring in names, which makes me happy, because it makes fans of Kurt Angle, Damien Sandow, Jay Lethal watch the promotion. Do you like Joe Hendry? He's someone to watch out for in some way. So I'll say yes, but WCPW is still in its early days. But yeah, I do like Joe Hendry, yes. But WCPW, I want them to continue doing good. I want them to continue bringing in names, because the more name power they get, the more it's going to expand in promotions, and people are going to be aware of it. So I like the idea. But when it comes to what culture, they've got a good set of hosts. They've got a good set of hosts. But my favorite is I'm a sick guy. No, the king's brilliant. You know, Jack the Jobber makes me laugh. You know, because he knows that he may not be the best out of the group, but he makes himself stand out in some way. He makes jokes about himself, which is always a good quality to have. And the people that go head to head, the people that go head to head in the talk shows, you know, the prediction video, the two that go head to head, the general manager of WCPW and the manager of Carnage. King is my favorite as well. You know, I do watch all their videos. I watch all their videos. I think they're probably one of, if not the best, wrestling YouTube channel going. I think they're brilliant at what they do. Their reviews are good. They're good and bad of the show, the WTF moments. They're really good at what they do. And yes, there's a few things they may miss from Raw and SmackDown, but I think every Raw review misses a point. They miss a point. Everyone does it, so I can't really bash them on that. Will you be ordering WCPW's IPPV? Also, how's Mr. Parkin? I haven't looked into ordering it. I haven't looked into it because I was expecting it to be on YouTube because they're still growing as a wrestling promotion. But if I have to order it, I probably would. Mr. Parkin's good. I don't really see him as much as I used to, but he's doing good with his girlfriend and jobs and exercise, biking. You know, building himself up, trying to become proper buff. You know what I'm saying? Now, please bear with me. I'm still here. I just need to grab a little Facebook chunk and paste it into the British Fist Facebook page. And back. Just done a little bit of promotion to see if I can boost the numbers up a little bit. And how are you? I'm doing good. You know, I'm trying to sort things out with work because I need a few more extra shifts so I can fund myself to travel a bit more. Because I'm trying to travel around the UK to go to conventions and to see other UK YouTubers. So I'm trying to fund that, trying to sort things out with work. I'm trying to still be involved in the internet somehow. So doing the occasional video, remaining active on Twitter. So I'm trying to keep myself going. But like we all know, personal life does take over a lot of our plans. How are you, mate? How are you? How are you doing? How are you doing? Nice. My Instagram's doing quite good. My Instagram. This is a random wrestling live stream, so there's going to be loads of random topics. And I'm glad you brought up WCPW because that is a wrestling promotion that I've actually been enjoying and could could speak about for a fair bit because I do like them. Just go back to university in late September for my final year. Good luck, mate. It's brilliant that you're putting yourself back to finish university after your nice summer holiday, and good luck with the final year. But I'm looking at what's coming up. NXT, we'll be watching. SummerSlam. I did a long predictions video, which I need to cut down tomorrow to re-upload just a prediction part of my live stream. So there will be a shortened live stream tomorrow. Not live, it'll be more cut down from my last one, just so I can share my predictions again tomorrow. What else is in my head right now about the world of wrestling? What else is on my mind? I don't know. Thank you. What do you think of good topic, mate. Good topic. Okay. Del Rio. The way I look at Del Rio's suspension is the WWE knew beforehand that Del Rio was unhappy. He was considering leaving the company. So the WWE could have tried to do better with him to keep Del Rio. They may not have had long-term booking for Del Rio, but because Del Rio is a good talent on the mic, in the ring, and he's multicultural, I would have done better with Del Rio to try and keep him in. But instead, some guy backstage who is bored and wants something to do, he targeted wrestlers who they need to check up on. Check on Del Rio, found something they didn't like, which I can all understand is the safety of the wrestlers, but still, Del Rio got targeted in that, and he got suspended for 30 days, which is probably good for Del Rio because he's wanting to leave. Bad for the WWE because they may have suspended the guy who's now going to use the suspension to go. In these 30 days, he could go, he could quit, he could move on to a different company. So WWE, you may have caused a little mistake there. Paige, people say it's a bit suspicious that she's done it following Del Rio and also on her birthday. So maybe there is something suspicious there. But I personally feel that Del Rio and Paige were out together one time and something happened and WWE got hold of it and made a reason to suspend them both. I'm not saying Paige will leave with Del Rio if Del Rio leaves, but I do think they're going to take advantage of this 30 days off. I'm not sure if Del Rio will come back. This might be his escape route now. Eva Marie, there's rumours and thoughts in my head that it could have been a work because just before the SummerSlam pay-per-view, she gets targeted. A female wrestler that wants to not wrestle for a little while. I'm not saying the WWE would go that low to make it look like they've suspended someone on the wellness policy only for it to be storyline based. I don't think the WWE would do something like that because it's kind of serious. But it did look a bit like, oh, maybe this is a work. Maybe this is her not having to wrestle at SummerSlam. But I expect when she comes back, this whole not wrestling thing is going to stop. She'll probably make a sneaky return, hopefully, and attack someone from behind. She'll attack a face behind. She may screw the face out of a championship match or a #1 contendership match. She might attack the face so the heel wins to go on to face Sasha. And then Eva Marie will face the one she screwed. I think her comeback's going to be a lot more serious than it would how her run has been recently. I think Eva Marie's going to have a better comeback. Roman Reigns' suspension before his recent comeback, his recent return. Yes, that this is building up to the Roman Reigns redemption, but to be honest, if Roman Reigns defeats Rusev, I can see the redemption story for Roman Reigns to be kind of poor. I think he's going to start to be quite dominant as a US champion and go back to the old Roman Reigns, which is why I hope he doesn't become champion, so the redemption storyline could last a bit longer. What do you think of the brand split? You didn't even need to put the so far bit at the end. What do I think of the brand split? I still don't like it. I'm still not buying into it. I'm like, the roster is not really that strong to split 2 shows. And even if the WWE do make a 3-hour Raw, 2-hour SmackDown work, WWE have had to now start thinking about switching wrestlers, because they've made the mistake of writing wrestlers down in a list before the draft and realize that Raw has the better main event scene. So now they're switching wrestlers over so SmackDown can have a better main event scene. Not saying it's a bad idea, but you shouldn't have to revert or rely on switching, trading this early into the brand split. Not this early. Trades should happen months down the line. But because WWE thought it was a good idea to create this brand split, go ahead with it, make it happen, this happens. So what are my thoughts? I don't like it. It's kind of off-putting to me. I think the WWE are going to realize that as they go on. They may start to snatch more NXT guys, bring some more NXT guys up to the main roster a bit earlier than they need to. They might grab some losers or failed cruiserweight guys, guys who did not win, just to fill up the numbers a bit more. I just don't like it that much. I'm not a huge fan of it. I'm not fully behind it even now. Bear with me. So I just received a message or just replying to it. But I normally avoid watching SmackDown and Raw and just watch pay-per-views now. And to be honest, avoiding Raw and SmackDown will prevent you from feeling frustrated about the booking decisions made for Raw and SmackDown. I like your train of thought. I like your idea. Also, people have been saying SmackDown's been doing better than Raw. Okay, pretty surprised at that because of how bad the roster is on SmackDown. But watching the pay-per-views, that's a good idea, but yet a bad idea. It's a bad idea because even the rosters, even the pay-per-view, sorry, my bad. Even the pay-per-views are not always the best. They let us down probably in the last few minutes because either a screwy finish when it weren't needed, overly booked match when it weren't needed. So right now, I don't think there's any I don't think there's any right way, wrong way of watching wrestling nowadays. I think you could miss a month's worth of wrestling and be up to date like that by watching the Raw you return on. If you miss a month worth of wrestling and watch it on your and watch the Raw on your return, you'll be up to date. I don't think there's any real way of watching wrestling. Is it true that SummerSlam is going to be 5 to 6 hours? Including the pre-show, which is 2 hours. Pay-per-view is 3 hours. That's 5 hours. And it looks like there's going to be it's an 8-man match. Usos, American Alpha. There's another big match being made for the pre-show. Because Dudley's are on one side. Is it 12 man? There's another big stupid match made. There's another pre-show big match. I thought the pre-show was going to be that 3-on-2 women's match, but no, it's going to be this 12-man tag with I forgot who's in the multi-man match. So I think it's the right time to talk about SummerSlam because I'm going to do more of these live streams. I really am. But this was a very last minute idea, and I've already spoke about a few topics to begin with. And so we'll talk about SummerSlam now. Do you think Brock and RKO will main event? Because it's Brock Lesnar, because he's the special attraction, I would not be surprised if that main events. But then I think to myself, okay, so SmackDown is probably going to be before Raw's main event. Ziggler vs Ambrose will probably come first out of all these three matches. Okay, that shows that SmackDown is still your B show because it's not worthy of going after Seth and Balor. Not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying SmackDown's normally going to be the first match going. It is. Then you might have the Divas, the Women Wrestlers Championship. Then you might have Finn Balor and Seth Rollins. I think Brock would, even though, to be honest, I'm more excited and more into Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor than I am Orton and Brock. I'm more interested to see Raw's main event than this Orton match. So yeah, I think it's going to main event, but I don't agree with it. Has Finn Balor done enough? That's a two-side discussion, but I do have an answer. The two-sided is no, because he's just left NXT. He went straight onto Raw, and now he's going up against Seth Rollins for the championship. Kind of fast, but yes, because he went through NXT being a long reigning champion, because he went through a tournament-ish kind of thing against top names, because he may not win against Seth, but he probably will. He's built himself up in a way that we can believe in him. We can think, yeah, he's won a tournament to get to this match, but you do ask yourself, what made him deserve to be in this tournament to begin with, to get this opportunity? I think that's more because he was once the NXT champion. So the fact he's already been a main event champion automatically makes him able to go into the main roster contendership matches. So my answer is, yeah, I think Finn Balor is okay to be going for the championship. I think he's gone through NXT as the champion. He's gone through a number one contendership on Raw, and now he's going to get Seth Rollins. So yeah, I think he's good and ready. I could say the same thing about Dean. Ziggler. I don't think Ziggler is the right man to be SmackDown's main event guy for SummerSlam. I don't. But at the same time, he did win a multi-man battle royal to earn this shot. So it's not like he was just given this opportunity. It's not like he just did a fluky win. He actually went through a multi-man match and came out the winner. But the downside to that is, even though he went through a big match like that, he still hasn't done anything really since Survivor Series that's made us think, this guy is going to be our next champion. This guy is going to beat Ambrose. This guy is going to make money for SmackDown. No. But I do, give him props for winning that battle royal to get this opportunity. Do you expect AJ Styles to beat John Cena? It's not WrestleMania, and John Cena's track record at WrestleMania has been quite appalling, quite sad. He's not done the right thing and put names over. He hasn't. John Cena's overcame his opponents at WrestleMania. SummerSlam is not WrestleMania, but it's still one of the big four pay-per-views. So I do hope that John Cena's, I'll be with you in a minute, John Cena's cycle of, oh, that guy beat me, now I've got to beat him for the next 3 pay-per-views. I'm hoping that cycle does end. But at the same time, this is SummerSlam. When it comes to WrestleMania, is John Cena going to lose at WrestleMania? He could lose at SummerSlam just so he can win at Mania. I'm not saying this feud's going to go all the way to Mania. No. I'm just saying, whoever John Cena faces at Mania, because he lost at SummerSlam, oh, you can win at Mania. It's okay. We'll give you the win at Mania to make up for SummerSlam. So I'm saying I want AJ to lose. I wouldn't be surprised if Cena wins. But I think I want to say AJ, but John Cena's not really giving me the faith. Feel the faith, feel the faith. No, I'm not going to sing. Not gonna see. But John Cena's not giving me the feeling inside, the feeling inside so strong that he's gonna do the right thing. Oh, yeah. I want to say AJ so bad, I really do. But for the sake of being a new era, the new era of new era, I'm going to say this is the time when the WWE are going to do the right thing. I couldn't say it with a straight face, but this is the era when the WWE do the right thing. It's going to be it's going to be that era. So come on, break the cycle, break the cycle, break the cycle. Nope. For the people that didn't see that question, which you can't see, are you happy with the SummerSlam card? No. Let me bring up now. Let me bring up. Let me open Firefox because, you know, I'm a Firefox guy. SummerSlam 2016 Wiki. There it is. Scrolling down to the card. And they've added the new match. Okay. Oh, there is going to be a sixth diva, sixth female wrestler in that six women's tag. So it's not going to be a 3-on-2. Okay, don't really care about the match. It doesn't really scream out good built SummerSlam worthy. It doesn't. Miz versus Apollo, good match. I tell you for why. SmackDown has the newer, younger wrestlers, and one of the newer, younger wrestlers is in a good match. Enzo Amore and Big Cass versus Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens should be in a singles match. He's a singles competitor. Chris Jericho should be putting people over. Yes, he could be putting over Enzo Amore and Big Cass, but I don't really think that Jericho is going to be a legit tag team. And for SummerSlam, it's not really a legit tag team. It's only been a few weeks. So for this match, it's a down. The match is going to be good. The match will entertain me. But I don't think this is a SummerSlam match. The New Day versus Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, it's a down. Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, when they took out the Usos many months back, that should have been the championship run. Now, they've not, 1 minute, they've not really earned this match, earned this opportunity. I don't think they have. So you're just having these guys go in this match and possibly win. I did a What Culture reference there, or an Austin reference, but no. This could have been a SummerSlam match if it was built up to where Luke Gallows and Kyle Anderson deserved this match, and where they have been feuding for a month or two. And I don't think it's been that long. Sasha Banks versus Charlotte. Rusev versus Roman Reigns. It's kind of happened out of thin air over the last few weeks. It's kind of happened out of thin air. I know it's one of those references that you don't really understand when you say it. Thin air. But yeah, Okay, it could have been a SummerSlam worthy match if it had more time. AJ and Cena, even though this could have been their first match, but then again, it's still Cena and AJ. Dean Ambrose and Ziggler. The build's been okay due to Ziggler earning his spot, having some mic time with Dean Ambrose, the commentary spots. But it's Dolph Ziggler. I don't think he should be in this spot. Finn versus Seth. I'm more leaning towards a yes for this match being a SummerSlam match. Brock and Orton, not really had enough time to build up this match. Orton just coming back from injury, and he's facing a guy who broke Triple H's arm, and Orton's had an arm injury. Orton's not had a match to show that he's in best shape to be facing Brock. Here we go. American Alpha, the hype. American Alpha, the hype bros, the Usos, Breezango, versus Breezango, the Ascension, and the Vaudevillains. Yeah, that's going to be a GIF. Sami Zayn and Neville versus the Dudley Boys. What? And by Wikipedia, Cesaro and Sheamus is a pre-show match. It's a pre-show match by Wikipedia. One of your built-up matches, your first out of 7 series match, is a pre-show match? No, don't do that, WWE. Don't do that. Okay, coming back to the chat. Do you like the new commentators on SmackDown and Raw? And do you expect a separate SmackDown Raw? Okay, I'll come back to that. To be honest, I don't always pay attention to the commentary. Then they're struggling to find a best suited partnership for the commentary team. They're struggling to find a good partnership. So I'd say I probably like the Raw one a little bit more, or part of the Raw one. Maybe could have had JBL on Raw, even though JBL feels more at home on SmackDown. I don't know. And do you expect a separate SmackDown and Raw commentary team at SummerSlam? There'll be three tables, if not 4. More likely 3. Raw, SmackDown. Raw, SmackDown. The foreign announce table, and Raw, SmackDown, and foreign table. Maybe, unless you have a Raw and SmackDown commentator and then a foreign table. I don't know. 3 announce tables. I would like to say that there's going to be 2 announce tables. No, I think that'd be. That's a good question. I think I'm going to say 3. I'm going to say 3. Bear with me again. Okay, back. It's John o'clock, damn it. We keep doing references. So, is there any other SummerSlam related questions? Because I think I'm going to wrap up this live stream. Are there any more SummerSlam questions, or was my rundown of SummerSlam good enough? They have done it before. They probably have put Raw's. So Raw on its own, and the foreign announce table and SmackDown beside the ring. I'd prefer to have the foreign announce table on its own and have Raw and SmackDown together. I prefer that way. Raw and SmackDown together, foreign and in another place. But I don't know how they're going to do it. Okay, while I'm waiting for any final SummerSlam questions, these live streams will be, I think, random because I can't always plan my live streams due to work being a bit unstable right now. Family things are going on, and what topics I want to talk about in the live streams. So there'll probably be random times, and whoever's around at the time can see it, and the ones who miss it catch it on YouTube later. Do you expect SummerSlam to deliver? If there's a surprise in the pay-per-view, a surprise thing that we weren't expecting, then yes, maybe there will be some deliverance. But from an outside point of view, I think only some of the pay-per-views going to deliver, only some. And by the way, my camera keeps auto-focusing because when I did a Windows 10 update, it affected my Logitech drivers, and now I can't alter much. So forgive the autofocus and stuff that's going on. But I think I might wrap up here and tweet you all later. So if there is any more wrestling questions, share them now, because in 4 minutes, depending on how the chat goes, I'll end the stream. So do what you can in 4 minutes, and if I get more questions, more viewership or whatever, I'll go on a bit longer. If not, I'll be wrapping up within 4 minutes. Because after this live stream, I plan on jumping on Twitter to just probably see what's happening on Twitter. Might try and do a random video, but I don't know what I'm talking about yet because I've already done a few live streams. Might jump on YouTube to see what videos I've missed. Might watch a movie for the remaining of the night. I don't know yet, but do expect these live streams to come at random dates, random times later down the line. But for the people who did join me live, thank you very much for coming. For the people that watch this video back, hi, thank you for watching this video. If you have any other thoughts about what I've said in this live stream at any point, leave them in the comment section. the comment section below. I'll read them, reply to them, and probably talk about them in a later video. Thank you very much for watching, YouTubers. It's nice to see you all again, and goodbye.